Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. Today I want to talk about the This Is Us season finale. Now, I've been watching This Is Us since the very beginning, and it's just such a great show. I know everybody loves it. It's such a heartfelt show about family and love and relationships, and you know how it goes back and forth in time, non-chronological, non-linear fashion. And this last season finale just inspired me so much. I wanted to talk about it and I wanted to make a video about it because it was so great, and it inspired me to start a new segment on my show where I review TV shows. So a lot of things that I've seen on YouTube is when people review television shows, they say the whole plot and they say everything that happened in the episode, and they don't really review it in a way of what they thought or what they're expecting or anything like that. So instead of giving you a summary of the whole plot of the episode, shut up phone. I should really put my phone on mute before I do this. Instead of doing that, I'm assuming that anyone who clicked on this video has seen the season finale, The Wedding, and knows everything that's happened in the episode. And I'm just gonna talk about what has happened in the episode and what I think about it, and not so much give a summary. So if you haven't seen it, go watch it before you watch this, because I'm not gonna give you a synopsis of what happened. Well, I might give you a synopsis, but I'm not gonna give you a summary of every single little scene. I'm just gonna go into what I thought of it. Now, having said all of that, my goodness, what a great way to wrap up season 2. A great, phenomenal season also, let me just say. While I'm reviewing the finale alone, I just want to say the season is everything that I hoped for, everything that I wanted. Going back to them showing us finally how Jack actually passed was, you know, great. When that episode was coming, you know, I was dreading it because I assumed that that meant that we weren't going to see Jack anymore, that they were just going to take him out of the show. But fortunately, that wasn't the case. He's still in it. He's still going to be in it. They're still going to show him. And with that said, we get to actually see him in Kate's fantasy as an older man, as the grandpa, as, you know, their mother gets to pay the grandma, and she's older because obviously she lived. We get to see through Kate's fantasy that Jack became an older man. You know, they were I have so many thoughts. I don't want to get confused and just scramble them all in, but he's older and he's grayer, just like Kate said in the episode, and it's their 20th wedding anniversary, him and Rebecca, and we get to see him older, as we would have loved to see him if he had not passed. And it was just a beautiful way to just end the season of just seeing old Jack had he lived. Now, going into the wedding, because that's what the whole episode was about, Kate's wedding. She finally is getting married to Toby, and I mean, what a joyous occasion. That's what I wanted that for the longest. Like, I love Toby. He's just the greatest guy. He's so funny. He loves Kate with all of his heart, and you feel that, you know it, and you don't question it for a second. You know he loves her. And I think it was really funny that her brothers, Kate's brothers, Randall and Kevin, were like the wedding planners or the wedding coordinators for everything. I thought that was nice that you know, she didn't have sisters, so she didn't have like a maid of honor that was a sibling, so instead she had her brothers be the wedding coordinators, which I thought was really nice. It's just really beautiful. The heart of the entire episode was Kate basically accepting that her father isn't going to be at her wedding. You know, she's never going to have the father-daughter dance, and something happens where she wanted to have a momentum of his be a part of her wedding, like on her physical body. She wanted to sew his t-shirt to her dress, which was kind of crazy, and I'm glad she didn't end up doing that, because that would not have been a good fashion choice. But she ends up losing it, and she kind of semi freaks out. Toby forgot to pack it, but the whole point of it is it was her father's t-shirt, and she wanted it to be a part of her walking down, since he couldn't physically walk her down. And you know, that was really, I mean, you know, This Is Us. It's just very heartfelt. It's just very sad, and it made me sad. She eventually ultimately found another memento, or I should say her brothers found another memento of her father's for her to use. So That was good. I don't remember what it was. Now that I think of it, I watched the episode a couple days ago. I think it was either a bat or a baseball mitt or something boyish like that that she included in her flower bouquet when she was walking down. But the gist of the episode was her basically reminiscing about him, how he used to take her to get ice cream. And she goes to the ice cream place that they used to go to, and it's been gentrified in a way that it was bought by a new company, and they don't actually carry the flavors that her and her father used to have there. So that's kind of a bit of a letdown that she didn't even get to do that, because you know how they say smells and certain things, taste, textures of things can bring back memories and make you feel like you're back into the place that you once were. And I truly believe that, because I'll smell like the smell of sand, and I'll remember when I was like 5 years old in Jamaica or something. So I understand that feeling. Having losing my father as well, I understand why you want to kind of feel connected to him in that way. And that was the gist of the episode, like I said. And then moving forward, because that plan failed, first the t-shirt failed, then the ice cream shop failed, her third choice now was to like take a drive over to their tree where they sat on the stoop of when she was a small child. Because as you know, This Is Us is 3 different layers of the kids when they're like maybe 10 or 9, and then it's the kids when they're teenagers, and then it's them as adults. So it's the part where they're 8 or 9, and you see her with her father, and they're sitting on the stoop, and she's reminiscing of that, and she brings in the present, when she's an adult, the urn that he's in, and puts it on the stoop, and she begins to talk to him, and that's kind of her memento of him, on her wedding day, of having her, you know, quote unquote father-daughter dance that she's not really gonna have, having it kind of abstractly, is that a word? She's kind of having it in a different way than a normal father-daughter dance. She's having it that way, and it's just beautiful and sad and just lovely, and it's just a great way, you know, to deal with not having your father on your wedding day, which is something that none of us want, which some of us will have to endure. So getting past that, Randall and her other brother Kevin cannot find her. She just kind of escaped, and they eventually figure out where she is, and they find her, and they bring her back to the wedding, and everything's all good. She goes back and she has this heartfelt, you know, thing with her mother, and it's just all lovely, and it was just a great finale of character issues that they've been having between her and her father, her and her mother, and it's great. Now moving away from that, we're introduced to Toby's parents finally. We've never seen them. We've only just heard about his mother and her having problems, I guess, him having problems with telling her that he was engaged, you know, back or either earlier this season or late last season, he was having trouble telling his mother that he was engaged. So we're finally introduced to both of his parents, and they have a problem with him marrying Kate because they feel that she is a lot for him, that he's taking a lot of himself to make sure that she's okay. And basically, he's killing himself to make sure that she is okay. And that his last marriage, he did somewhat the same thing. And I just love what he says to his parents, that, you know, I love Kate. And, you know, a part of being married and being in a relationship is taking care of the other person. So what if he likes to take care of Kate? Is the gist of what he's saying. And he did the same thing with, I'm assuming, with his last wife, because that's what they mentioned to him. You did this before. We remember this. You killed yourself over your last wife. You're going to do it again. And they basically leave things with him telling them, you know, to screw off, like, I don't care what you think. And it's kind of comedic because after he says that, he tells his mother to help him with his cufflink, which I thought was funny. He was like, you guys can just leave. Help me with my cufflink and then you can leave. So I thought that was funny. Now moving on to the actual wedding. Thank you, police department or ambulance in Midtown Manhattan. I appreciate that noise. Okay. Yikes. The speeches that Kevin and Randall gave at Kate's wedding. round of applause for that. That was very, very just... I expected everyone to cry at Randall's speech because I was kind of crying. Almost every episode of This Is Us, I'm left crying. But that episode, you know, that speech specifically, I was like, how come nobody's crying? It's just me? All right. But Kevin's speech was great. Just very with like in the moment, and very, you could tell it was just so realistic, and he really thought of everything on the spot, and he took his time. I love speeches like that. His personality flowed right through that speech. At the same time, he was very honest with how he felt. I'm not perfect. Our family isn't perfect. We need to let go of our father. He's not here anymore. We kind of just have to get past it, and we have to grieve. And he mentions before that Kate said to him, what was the quote? Not grieving is like holding in your breath. Basically, it's you're killing yourself. Just holding in your breath and keeping it in. That's what not grieving is. And I agree, you need time to grieve. Grieving is just like if you break your leg and have surgery. You need time to heal. Grieving is time to heal. So those were some great speeches. Now we're gonna get into the very end of the episode, where all of the shits went down. All of the dramatics went down. We're gonna start with Deja. Deja, in the previous episode, which was a fantastic episode, where we get all of Deja's story, which I love Deja. I didn't expect to love her character as much as I have, but I completely sympathize with her. I completely grasp who she is now. And I mean, I always kind of feel like I did. Like, she's always been like a just strong kid to me, and I never understood why. Like, aside from her going through what she's gone through, like, what is it about her that makes her seem so strong to me? And now I understand, because of everything that she's gone through, going from, having a mother who was a teen mother, and basically her grandmother, played by Pam Grier, semi-raised her along with her mother, and her grandmother died when she was so young. So she's dealt with grief in her family so young. So she's very strong in that she's dealt with some of the adult type problems that people have dealt with. When she got a little bit older, I want to say she was a preteen or a teen, her mother got a live-in boyfriend, and she had to deal with that. Like, she would have to pick up after him and clean up the house. She had to be domestic at a very young age to a grown man. As well as having such a young mother, she had to basically take care of her mother as well. She was the one who put forth, let's have a home savings bank. That wasn't her mother's idea, that was her idea. At such a young age, she was just very adult. She kind of was forced to grow up too fast. She witnessed in a foster home one of her foster sisters being abused. So yeah, she's been through it. She went through living in her car, all of these things. So I sympathize with the kid. All of the stress that she had caused her to have alopecia. We know all of this. And she chopped off her hair. This is all that we know. Now going into this episode, the finale, her mother basically said in court that she can't take care of her anymore. She gave her up, essentially. And of course, Deja's gonna feel a way about that. Who wouldn't feel a way about their mother saying, like, I can't take care of you, I don't want you, I can't live with you, basically. Basically, she's saying, I don't want you. I found you a good home, you stay here, you can't be with me anymore. And it's heartbreaking, but that's what happened. And Deja is dealing with it. And when you think about it, her being pissed off, not even that badly at everyone, is kind of how any teen would react. So she's lashing out, and Randall and Beth are trying to give her as much space as possible. But obviously she has to go to the wedding, because everyone's going to the wedding. So they're at the cabin where Kate's wedding is going to take place. And we meet Beth's cousin. And we find out that Beth's cousin kind of grew up similarly to Deja, where her mother gave her up and she was forced to stay with her aunt and cousin Beth growing up. So she basically tries to, sympathize with Deja, try to get her to, get ready for the wedding. It's all right. We're gonna have fun. I know your mother let you down, but it's gonna get better. You're mad now, but the only place you can go is up. Like, this is your lowest point. You can go up. I'm paraphrasing, but that's basically what she tells Deja. Deja cheers up. She's like, you know what? Yeah, I'm mad at the wrong people. Let me try to have some fun. So she finally gets dressed up, goes to the wedding, goes to the reception. Everything's all good. She's around this table with her, I don't know if they're foster sisters, because I'm not sure if Deja is completely adopted, but Tessa and Anna, whoever Tessa and Anna are to her, she's at this table with them. And then Toby's mother walks up. Now, we already know we don't like Toby's mother based on what I said before. Toby had a bad time telling her that he's engaged. She doesn't want him to marry Kate because he takes care of her. And now a third reason not to like her. She goes up to the three girls and she says, "You're Randall and Beth's girls, right? You two," pointing at Tess and Anna, "splitting image of your mother." Now, we all see Beth. We all know she's gorgeous. We all know that. You know what I'm saying? And yes, everybody wants to hear, "You look like your mother," especially if your mother looks like that. She turns to Deja, who isn't related to anyone by blood, says, "You look like your father." We know Randall isn't her father. So we can only imagine how she's feeling hearing from some stranger, "You look like Randall." This young girl who already has enough insecurities. Her mother left her. She had to chop off her hair because she has a hair follicle disorder. She was already mad coming to this wedding. Now you're telling me that I look like a grown-ass man? I'm tight. Deja is pissed off, and we know she's pissed off because she leaves the wedding, goes outside, gets a bat, the same bat that I mentioned before, Jack's bat, that Randall and Kevin took out for Kate to look at for their father's mementos. Deja gets it, fucks up Randall's car, swings it at his windshield, and she was having a Beyonce Lemonade ass moment, and I'm here for it. I'm here for it completely. I understand why she feels that way. She's coming from Randall. We know Randall loved his car. Kevin was about to eat something in Randall's car, and Randall was about to go off on him. "Don't you drop crumbs on my car, I will beat your ass." He's very particular about his stuff. Imagine he come outside and see his car all fucked up like that. Rest in peace, Deja. Man. Anyway, yeah, that, I cannot wait to see what happens next season. Everybody's reaction to that, to Deja taking her frustration and her anger out on Randall's car based on something someone else said. Now, who do you think Deja's mad at? Is she mad at Randall? Is it Randall's fault this woman said that? Does she think that Randall told this woman that she's their daughter, like their real daughter? Is she mad because she doesn't want to, she's insecure and she doesn't want to hear that she looks like a boy? What is she, who is she mad at, do you think? Answer in the comments below. I'm very, very, very interested in what you guys think. I think she's just mad, period. She's not mad at anybody in specific. She's just mad, period. And she likes to focus all of her anger on Randall. That's what I'm thinking. Where the hell did she find this bat? Where was the bat for her to just find and pick up and start swinging? But yeah, she went lemonade ham on Randall's car. Moving on. Another thing that happened in the finale, which I am very excited about. Kevin looks like he has a little thing going on. Spewing, what's the word? Spewing with Beth's cousin. Beth's cousin, by the way, looks just like Kat Graham, and I thought that was Kat Graham when I was watching it. Is this Kat Graham's cousin or auntie or somebody? Because she looks exactly like her at every angle. And I'm looking at her and I keep thinking that it's Kat Graham, but it's not. It's another actress, but I'm gonna have to look her up and see if she's related to her because she looks just like her. And it was messing me up. I was like, why do you look like Kat Graham? Anyway, she's beautiful. It looks like she's having a thing with Kevin. They're flying somewhere to Vietnam or whatever. I don't know why they're flying to Asia, but I'm here for it. I'm here for it. I'm excited about that relationship, whatever it may be. So yeah, she goes up to him at the end of his speech during the reception and she says, you know, I have a thing for speeches. And she's like flirting with him a little bit. And I'm like, oh, okay, good, Kevin. Because in the beginning of the episode, Madison, who's Kate's best friend, her maid of honor, was kind of flirting with Kevin, and Kevin made a joke to Randall, was like, please don't let me sleep with her, she's crazy. And then at the end of the episode, he kind of finds somebody that he might want to sleep with. So I thought that was funny, and I thought that was interesting, and I'm excited for that. And that is another thing that I'm excited to see Randall's reaction about. Like, how do you feel about your brother dating your cousin-in-law? And how does your wife feel about her brother-in-law dating her cousin? That's gonna be interesting. And I can't wait to see how Deja feels about it, because she has a kind of thing about Kevin. She has a little crush on Kevin. And she has like a kind of a bond now with Kate's cousin because they have a similar growing up experience. So can't wait to see how that unfolds. And I feel like I'm missing something that happened. Did anything else happen besides that? Kevin and the cousin are on the plane going to Asia. Deja messes up the car. Toby and Kate get married, and it's beautiful, and they're in love, and she looks gorgeous in her gown, and she's just such a beautiful woman. And I loved it. It was an amazing finale. I look forward to fall. I cannot wait to see what happens. Let me know what you thought about the finale in the comments below. Let me know what you're excited about, what you think is going to happen. Why do you think Deja did what she did? And what you're looking forward to. And thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys soon. Bye.